What inspires me to do the work that I'm doing? I think it was like more of a snowball effect from growing up here in Nain. I always loved playing sports, organized sports in school and outside of school. So that continued on all throughout my school days, was playing on sports teams, trying out for teams, like almost every day of my life. It was like ice hockey and broomball, volleyball, whatever, school varsity. And that's what helped me decide what I wanted to do after high school. Like, of course, like I didn't really know at the time when I was finished grade 12. Took some soul searching and stuff, like going to university for a semester, then, okay, it's not for me, take a year off, try again, go back. So it wasn't until I was 24 that I went back and really decided what I wanted to do, and it was physical education. So that's where my passion was at the time. I was phys ed because that's what I grew up with, and I loved it. I love sports. And when I came back, I wanted to give the kids in Nain or wherever I worked in Makhovik for 5 years. I wanted to give the kids the opportunity of what they had, of love for sports. So I just took every opportunity to coach the kids. Still played a little bit of sports back then when I first started teaching, but injuries prevented me from continuing. So then I took on coaching more as full-time with teaching, and that became another passion, was the coaching part. And like, I didn't realize how life-changing and inspiring it was to see the kids try their best, no matter how good they are or how bad they think they are. Like, they try their best all the time and they improve. You see them improve over time, and you just kind of want that for them. Like, you want to be there for them as much as you can, because you know how much they can do for themselves. So that was that part of the coaching. And I still coach when I can, but while at university, I found another passion of mine was I did a research paper on residential schools and relocation. That was in 2007, I think, and I found that was my passion then, like a different way. So then I really wanted to work toward that in some way in my teaching, but I wasn't sure. So, like, it stayed in the back of my mind about Inuit social justice, I guess, like the decolonization and colonization really interests me too. And that's when I decided I want to do a PhD after my master's. So I done my master's in physical education, but I was waiting for this program in the Labrador campus for like 5 years. Like, they were trying to put it off for 5 years, the PhD program, and I held off, wait for it again. And I was like, I'm gonna go find another university soon so I could just start my PhD. Like, time's a ticking. I'm getting older. It's like 45 years old now, and I started that last year, last May. So I still have the passion of coaching the youth in Nain, or youth along that north coast, because I know a lot of kids on the north coast. I love coaching them because I know their talent and how good they could be, and they just don't know how good they are really, because they don't see it outside until they get there. So that part, the coaching part, I really love, and kind of learning more myself about decolonization, mainly in the education part. Learning about that now, but there's a passion there too, that's kind of driving me that way. Kind of that's why I'm taking a break from coaching, and decided to try the principal job, because there's a lot of colonization yet in the school system. And the more I am taking my courses through MUN, is just like not even a year yet. This is our second semester. Like I'm just realizing more and more how colonized it really is and how much needs to be changed. And it's like overwhelming even, like how are we going to change that if we're trying to work towards it? It's so big. My mother was the Inuktut teacher when I came here. I moved here in 2014, and she was almost upon retirement at the time, but she was an Inuktut teacher for grades 4 to 12 for like years. And I think I worked with her for a few years, must have been 2, 3 years, 2, 3, 4 years until she retired. And then when she retired, there was no Inuktut teacher. And I think it was for 2 years, there was none. Over a year anyways, there was no Inuktut teacher. And like I never thought of it. I never thought about it like it was for me. I don't think it's for me. That's what I thought. I'm just physed, right? And our director of schools at the time, she came to the school for a meeting, and she was the one who approached me and asked me, what do you think about teaching Inuktut? And I was like, I don't think I'm comfortable with teaching Inuktut. I know some, like, you know, that's how I felt. I only know some, I can understand some, but I'm not fluent. And she said, think about it, and I'll come talk to you tomorrow or whatever. And I went to talk to my mother to see what she thought, because I was like, I don't think I can do this. You know, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not fluent. I'm not trained in it. But after talking to her, she's like suggested, just try teaching one course. Just try teaching high school Inuktut. You don't have to teach it all. You can start off with one. So that's what I did for that year. For the next year, I taught just the high school Inuktut, and I done that for 2 years. And then on the 3rd year, the principal asked me how I felt about teaching grade 7 to 9 and high school. So that's what I did for another 2 or 3 years. So it was grade 7 to grade 12. But my mother said too, like she wasn't really comfortable in teaching Inuktut too when she started. And she said, you're going to see when you start teaching the kids or the students in class, you're going to be learning at the same time. So that's what really happened. Like you're teaching the students, but at the same time you're learning yourself. And 2nd year I taught it, like I learned more. 3rd year I taught it, I learned even more. So I kept building on my own Inuktut at the same time as teaching the students. So I became more comfortable after the 3rd year.